Hi guys, welcome back to Flakback's channel. I'm Shaina and I'm here on this channel to do a series of vlog about my journey in reviewing for the Cisco CCNA. If you're new to our channel, maybe you could hit that subscribe button and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you'll be updated whenever we posted a new video here. So what is up guys? How is it going and how are you? Right now, I'm on 76% progress on my review on the Flakback's Gold Bootcamp, and I am on the wide area network topic, which is all about WAN, MAN, and LAN, and I'm so excited to finish this topic about the wide area network. I just finished guys section 30 of the course, which is all about IPv6 addressing and routing. That's why I decided to make this video to share with you my thoughts about IPv6 and what are the things that I've learned. And guys, maybe you could give this video a thumbs up to show support to this channel. Why I decided to share with you my thoughts about IPv6, because I know guys, this is one of the hottest topic in IT world. This is one of the not so controversial guys, but I think this is one of the hottest and futuristic topic. I want to share with you the things that I've learned after reading the topic about IPv6 and how it changed my perspective and the way I think about the trend of the CCNA review. We all know the reason why there's an IPv6 existing nowadays. Even though there's already a NAT or network address translation, it can't accommodate all of the devices around the world. That's why IPv6 was born to accommodate all of the needs of the IP addresses of all the devices around the world. What I've learned about IPv6 guys, first thing that I've learned is its format or addressing format guys. IPv6 guys uses 128-bit address compared to IPv4, which is 32-bit address, and it is written in the form of XXX colon, like what you can see on your screen. So that is how the IPv6 looks like compared to IPv4, and each X is a 16-bit hexadecimal field. And I also learned how this IP addressing format can be shortened, the other ways to shorten this format or make it easier for us to remember. Second guys, second thing that I've learned from IPv6 is the three types of IPv6. So we have here global unicast, unique local, link local, and I'll learn the differences with each other and the comparison of them with IPv4. And a third thing that I've learned is how to configure the IPv6 on the router and how we can compare it to IPv4 configuration. Somehow guys, IPv6 is not that so complicated, and there are so many advantages of IPv6 compared to IPv4. I'll learn about EU I-64 address configuration, and of course how to configure those types of IPv6 on a router, the link local and global unicast address, and also there is a manual link local address configuration. I learned about this stateless address auto configuration or SLAC. So far so good guys when it comes to IPv6 configuration, but that is not the issue or the highlight of this video. It's not about guys the configuration that changed my perspective about IPv6. Let's go to the fourth thing that I've learned about the IPv6. So fourth thing that I've learned is I've learned that IPv6 is intended to replace IPv4. And yes guys, that is actually the truth. It is intended to replace IPv4. Sooner or later, IPv4 might be completely erased. We don't know guys, we don't know what will happen. But we all know, guys, that most of the network engineers, data analysts, IT analysts, and other people in the IT industry are more familiar with IPv4. I know there are some who can't still move on from IPv4. They are not still used to IPv6, or I should say that they are more expert in IPv4 than in IPv6, or I can say that they are more comfortable working with IPv4. But I know and I feel, guys, that we are still on the process of adapting the changes or getting familiar with IPv6, and that is, guys, one of the reason why it started to change my perspective on IPv6. And the fifth thing that I've learned about IPv6 is the next generation IP standard. And this is now the issue, guys. They are saying that IPv4 is the past and IPv6 is the future, and they are saying that we as starters or newbies in IT industry or in this industry, we need to focus on IPv6 rather than mastering the IPv4. Sooner or later, guys, IPv4 will be vanished. It will be replaced by IPv6. And we need to cope up with that changes. So if that's the case, I was thinking that does it mean that the future of CCNA exam will be focused on IPv6? And there's a one interesting news that was posted last March 28, 2021 at fedtechmagazine.com. On this article, guys, with the title How to Make Progress on Implementing IPv6 in Government, there is some so-called of mandatory movement to IPv6. It says there that agencies should be moving to IPv6 only environment and shutting off IPv4 devices and network. It looks like, guys, that the government or the federal government are starting to mandate the transition to IPv6. It says there, guys, from the news that IPv6 has numerous advantages over IPv4, making it something of a no-brainer for agencies and other organizations to transition to the newer technology. And IPv6 is where innovation is happening in the IP space, since IPv4 is a legacy protocol that no one is investing in it anymore. And they're also saying that the rest of the world is moving to IPv6, and federal agencies needs to communicate with agencies and organizations across the rest of the world. This is a very interesting news, guys, and what's in it for us as starters? We need to think about this. Should we need to focus on IPv6 rather than IPv4? I know, guys, that we still need to learn about IPv4 because that is the fundamental of everything. And nowadays, we are still using IPv4 though. And even, guys, after 2 to 3 years, there are still IPv4 in the company. That's why IPv4 is still part of the CCNA exam. I know, guys, that today we still need to learn about IPv4. We are still a young generation, guys. Sooner or later, technology evolves very fast. Maybe after 5 to 10 years, or after 10 years, IPv4 will be completely removed by IPv6. It's just, guys, a crazy thoughts on my mind. I just want to share with you this quote from this news, guys. This is an interesting quote that you might think about it, guys. It says here by Vlijay de Souza, Director, Government Accountability Office's IT and Cybersecurity Team. If you wanted to enable innovation and do things with the Internet of Things and really have a modern networking component as part of your agency's mission, you really need to get to IPv6. This is a very interesting news, guys. And like what I said, what's in it for us, guys, as starters? IPv6 is the future, and we are the future. So we need to master both. We need to master IPv4. We also need to master IPv6. Sooner or later, guys, there will be like an increased demand of the people who are very knowledgeable with IPv6. Since pandemic happens, the need of internet and online communication increases. So people who don't really into the internet world are starting to adapt, starting to use the technology like online classes, work from home setup, online communication, online meetings, online tutorials. Everything is happening through online. Almost everyone, guys, they are starting to adapt with the latest technology, and this is just the beginning of the expansion. Sooner there will be an increased demand from the people who are very knowledgeable about IPv6, and we need to be one of them, guys. And I think that's all for my video today. If you like this video, maybe you could give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also, guys, please don't forget to follow us on our different social media accounts. All the links to our social media accounts are on the description below. Make sure to check that out. And also, guys, maybe you can connect with me on my LinkedIn account. Here's my LinkedIn account. Connect with me and I will also connect with you. And that's all what I can share for now. Thank you for supporting me by watching my videos. And guys, if you're new to our channel, you can freely download our Cisco Lab exercises guide for free. The link to that is also on the description below. You can download it for free, guys, and you can share it with your friends and colleagues if they are looking for a Cisco Lab exercises guide. And see you on my next video.